Now you've realized that one size does not fit all. Different carriers have different base rates, different discounts, different FAK structures. They apply to different customers who ship different items to different parts of the country and state. You know now that you might not be able to give the same uplift with one carrier as another, and you know that if you give a blanket tariff across the board, you're really just leaving money on the table. So now that we've copied a customer, we've set up a new customer in your service, what we want to do is we want to tweak those contracts. I'm now going to show you how to grant different contracts and revoke contracts from the customers that you set up. The first thing that you need to do is you'll need to log in as the administrator. Only the administrator for your group can add or revoke contracts. At this point, it's just necessary that I absolutely implore you, that you don't price an account, that you don't shoot in the dark without data. If the customers aren't providing you with invoices, you're either invariably leaving a considerable amount of money on the table, or you're losing market share opportunities that you might have otherwise had. And for sure, you're not doing a justice to your customer by treating them like cookie cutter. We're not a cookie cutter operation. There's prosperity and complexity in this system, and it's imperative that everybody take advantage of that. Earlier, we set up a contract called BGL Demo 2. That was our new customer. To view that customer, we're going to go to Company. That customer was actually set up under Blue Grace Demo, and we're going to select BGL Demo 2. The first thing I want to do is I want to view this customer's contracts and see what we set up for him. I'm going to select Contracts in the taskbar at the top of the screen, and now I'm going to look. Since we copied the other Blue Grace demo, which is actually a copy from the 30% uplift, we can see that we have various 30% uplifts, as well as some customer-specific pricing that we put together. What doesn't make sense here is BGL Demo 2 might be a high-class, high-weight, high-distance shipper, and it simply does not make sense to give them a 30% uplift on Saya when we're giving them a 30% uplift on Best Overnight, or on Roadway, or on Old Dominion. The Saya's are going to be considerably less expensive, and we're going to be leaving a lot of money on the table. So what we want to do is we want to raise that uplift. We know that we want to give them higher contracts. We also know that we see a number of different USF Hollands in here, and that we should only have one. So what we also have to do is revoke those contracts. Now let's go back to our hierarchy. In order to grant or remove those contracts, let's go into Blue Grace Demo. That's going to be our administrator. We're going to select Contracts. And we're going to find the contract that matters most to us. Now we find the 50% uplift for Sayazar, and that's what we want to add. We're going to select Sayazar, and then we're going to go to Grant Subcompanies and select Submit. Yes, we're sure. And now we have our customers. We want to grant Sayazar to BGL Demo 2. We're going to go ahead and grant one contract, and now it's complete. What we also need to do now is we need to revoke all of the other USF Hollands from Blue Grace Demo 2. So now that we're still in the contracts for Blue Grace Demo, let's find our USF Hollands. If you ever can't find a contract, it's most likely because you haven't gone up higher enough in your hierarchy chain. The administrator will have all of the contracts. Now let's say that we know we want to grant this customer a 35% uplift with USF Holland. They already have it in there. So what we need to do is we need to go ahead and select all the ones that were in there that we do not want. We also know that we need to revoke the Sayazar 30%. We can't have a Sayazar 30 and a Sayazar 50 at the same time. Now we've selected the carriers that we want to remove from VGL Demo 2. Hit the drop-down menu and hit Revoke Subcompanies. And select Submit. Yes, we're sure. We want to revoke them from VGL Demo 2. Scroll to the bottom of the screen and revoke 14 contracts. Now it's done. Let's go back to our company and see that the contracts are set up the way that we want them to now. We now have size R5 and only the USF Holland 35. But wait, it appears here USF Holland carrier and quote are still there. So we need to get rid of them as well. Go back to our company. Go to the top of our hierarchy chain. Select contracts. USF Holland carrier. USF Holland quote. Revoke subcompanies. Submit. Yes, we're sure. BGL Demo 2. Now we're done. Double check our work one more time. And we are good to go. Does anybody have any questions?